Yeah. This says it should be live. I've got no idea if it's going to work because for some reason my phone is not set up right. I don't know why. Fingers crossed that's going to work. See, even my screen layout's not right. So, hello. Thank you for joining me, Kirsty. A couple of quick things to. I needed my keyboard for some reason. I can't remember what it was. So, while I'm figuring out why I need my keyboard, tonight's plan. Because I've got lots of nice new books, I basically got doubles of lots of things. So, one there, one there. Two of them, and there's now two of these things, as well as everything else that came in that box along with it. So tonight's intention is try and copy them, because thank you very much for confirming, Kirsty, because yeah, I would be rabbiting on with just me. Yeah, I would have known as well. Thank you for telling me. Good evening, Alton. Thank you for joining us. Come and join us. So yeah, it's copy and paste this time, but there has been an odd phase going around saying that with the speed paints, which is what I paint these things with, if you use one of these kids pop tie things, so you can put speed paint in it and just use it because you would use it as like a palette would. But when it dries, you just pop it and it just pops out and cleans itself. It looks really, really easy. So I'm going to give that a go. Well, I'm all right. I'm all right. Listen, kids keeping me busy as usual. So I'm doing my painting night tonight. As each week, this is my painting night. This is the night I get to go paint, and the camera motivates me to do it because I better get my backside in gear. Otherwise, Kirsty starts shouting at me. Oh, it's better than climbing the walls, Kirsty. It's better than climbing the walls. I remember what I was going to do now, because it keeps popping up and going beep 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 in my ear, and I'm really starting to do my head in now. So I'm going to Discord. Just going to put in that I am. Oh no, I've already put the link in there. Excellent. So no, that's fine. That's done. I didn't know if to put the link in Discord. Painting walls. At least you weren't climbing them. What colour have you gone for? Or is it just a base white? I can't remember which colour to start with. Going off this bloody thing, I started with purple. I started with purple. Okay, I started with purple. Nice, okay. I hope you don't mind that I only get around to watching them and looking at them when I get around to looking at them. So a few coats of white done first. Yeah, generally white's a bit of a pain and does need a few coats if you actually want to get it to go on properly and a nice clean. That's why I don't like white. I don't like white as much. That's why I use ivory instead. But I'm still not happy with this one. But we'll see how it goes on this batch. It didn't go too well on the goblins. I weren't happy with that on the goblins. It might be different when I'm going. Fingers crossed it's not too different when we're back to the Tyranids. Because if it is, then they're going to look. I don't know. That might not be too bad, having a slight variance between them so I can actually tell them apart on the battlefield. I say on the battlefield. If you ever get around to actually playing with them, I need to pick up my tables and finish my scenery and. When I'm doing walls, not so much. When I'm doing this, yeah, I get loads of paint on me. Especially when I'm dry brushing, because it all goes on that part of the hand. So, start with the purple. And there's a lot of bloody purple on these. Right, so I need to leave that a little bit, these little brainy bits. Those brain? No, I need to do those bits and that ridge down his head. See, that's why it's always nice to have a reference model that you've done first. Thank you very much, Alison. Thank you. It is a very quick job, though. Tyranids, I definitely wouldn't have said was an army that they weren't necessarily an army that I wanted. They were an army I was always interested in the lore, because they were the only thing from outside our galaxy that they brought into it. It was never an army I was interested in collecting. It is literally an accidental army, which I've managed somehow, and I'm not entirely sure how, to get a full army together. These ones are fairly big. These two over here are my biggest two. They're the biggest two models I own for the Tyranids. The biggest model I own is still the Stomper, and I think will always be the Stomper. I won't be getting any models bigger than the Stomper. He's absolutely huge. Good evening, Lee. Good evening. I didn't actually get round to asking the question you wanted the answer to the other night. I was reading the room and it didn't seem appropriate. And yeah, it was weird. There was an odd vibe in the room when I was in there. It was odd. I don't know whether I don't know, but there didn't seem a particularly appropriate time to mention that thing, if you know what I mean. You got time when you do shit. Oh, have I been live long enough? I hope I've been live long enough. I've just swore. Oh. Yeah, well, fuck it. At this point, there's nothing I can do about it, is there? And this is why we like speed paints, because they're quick. Right, well, I'm able to run the chat. The bigger models are, yes, they're easier to paint in one degree, is the fact that you've only got one of them to paint. But there's a lot more on that one to paint than there is on, say, the little ones. So to paint them is absolutely easy. It is doddle. I can paint them in minutes. Good afternoon, JV. Just checking I'm getting the right timing. So yeah, them I can paint in easily as much smaller models. Even the where the wraps on the bubble wrap, I'm not getting them out at the moment. It's dangerous. Even some of the other models, the termagants, the standard troop models with the little that I've got with the little guns, even they're really easy to paint on their own, and I'd be finished with the armor on two of them by now. It's just the quantity of them that I end up with, because I've got another 20 to paint in total, which is, yeah, that'll take me longer than painting this individual one, but this one on its own is actually harder because of the amount of detail it's got. So I really don't want to screw up on like getting the little small brain bits in there covered in purple before I manage to get in there with a smaller brush with the green. Is it green? Yeah, it's green. See, I have to double check. It's green on the brainy stuff. Green on the brain. Good evening, Captain. Good evening. Do you actually need the link to come up? I can't remember. I really can't remember. So yeah, the big models I don't want to screw up, especially these ones, because these ones have just been re-released. You can't join? Okay. I thought you could just log in your account and join. That wouldn't surprise me, JV, if you were actually able to do that. You are the, yeah. As far as StreamYard goes, you're definitely the best person I know how to deal with this thing. I'm not entirely sure what Jessica's doing. I know she had her giveaway earlier. So maybe she's taking a bit of a time off to do other things. I don't know. Maybe she's catching up on commissions, because those things take time, especially if you want them at a commission level. This is not a commission level. This is nowhere near a commission level. This is, I'm happy to put this out on the tabletop because it's got 3 colors on it and you can tell what everything is. That's what this is. This is not a competition or paid for with it, unless you're only paying for. It's like, look here, here's the models, is enough, is the paints, is enough for your time. Just give them a quick color scheme for me. Then fair enough, this will be what you paid for. But I'm not a commission payer by any stretch of the imagination. I've positioned my camera wrong. I see that one's wrong, isn't it? That one's wrong. So for some reason, Captain should be able to come up and he can't, and I'm going to remedy that fact in a moment. So as soon as I go rinse my brush off, I'm going to quickly nip over and remedy the fact that Captain can't do stuff by himself, because that's the whole point of him being able to do stuff by himself, is that he can do stuff by himself and I don't have to do it for him. So just one moment, because I need to clean my brush anyway. And we'll go to there. Is probably the best place to go. Ding. Do that. Find Mr. Bapitan. And do that. And now Captain should be able to let himself up if he wishes. Yeah, if he wishes. But now I've rectified that. So, I'm not saying he wants to come up, but he doesn't want to come up and listen to me. How many models have I got left? Let me count. 20, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. No, I can't be right. 30, 36, 37, 38. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 40. About 44-ish, but some of them are only like tiny little things, and some of them are. I'm doing most of the big ones tonight. I don't have any more of those ones to do, thank goodness. Yes, quite a lot, but I've essentially already done it once, because not the exact same of what I've already got, but it's the majority of what I've already got, except for I think 3 models. And that's them 2 big things and one of the special lictors, which are kind of big leaper things. I've also ended up with an extra three leapers, so where I should have 6, I've actually got 9. Oh yeah, I got the magazine, didn't I? That's how that's happened. And may possibly happen again should certain models arise within that magazine. I'm not shying away from expanding my Tyranids. Or even getting a couple of other models. No, that's fine, Alison, don't worry. Yes, these are all used in a game. I did do, I did do a small demo live, and it got put onto a video as well of how the close combat phase of that game works in a very, very basic sense. And this is what order you roll the dice in, and this is how you tell what you need on the dice. There was no real special rules in. There is one, yes, it's like a D&D magazine, but for this. And this one, if you're looking to get into it and have no idea what you want to do, this set is actually pretty good, because you get kind of a little bit of a lot of armies, including some of these. And Space Marines, I think you get some Sisters, some Votans, some Admechs, some Chaos Marines. I'd have to have a look. It's called Combat Patrol, but that's also what Games Workshop call their box sets. So it can get confusing, just a lot. So be careful. But yeah, it's a weekly magazine thing, and you'll get one of most of the things that I've got for Tyranids anyway. You'll get quite a few of the things that I've got for Space Marines, and possibly a couple of things that I don't have as well, depending what you actually get for Space Marines. I can't remember. And obviously, if it's something that I find myself able to pick up and I don't have and I would like, then there's a possibility that I'll pick it up if I just happen to have the money. I'll have to cut back on the Age of Sigmar ones, which are slightly cheaper, but at least it'll be for the game system that I play. I need to look at this. Yeah, that's exactly it, Kirsty. I want someone to live here for. Well, that's how I. Pardon me, sorry about that. Have I forgot my brew? I forgot my brew. I can't believe I forgot my brew. Right. Shout at me in this chat as much as you want. I encourage it, because I've forgotten my cup of tea and I've left it in the kitchen. And that is almost unforgivable. But I also have wet paint that I need to move around on this thing. So I'm going to move the wet paint around first. Because I need to move it around so it doesn't form nasty, horrible lines. Nasty, horrible, busted in lines that are such a pain in the ass to get rid of. We don't want them. Don't want them. So we need to try and do it while the paint's wet. I don't know, I'm about to load my paint up, brush up again, but what all this section to do here? Then I can wash my brush off, go get my brew. And come back and carry on. Thank you very much, Kirsty. I don't know how it works. Believe it or not, Alison's the expert on that, because I've got no idea how that actually works. All I know is apparently you can purchase stuff off it, and I think there's an option where I can let you add stuff to it as well. It's okay, yeah, listen, as long as it's a drink, I'll be all right. So yeah, I think there's an option where I can let you add stuff to it as well. I need to go over that wish list. I made that wish list ages ago. Half of it's probably not even relevant to me anymore, or gone out of stock, or God knows what. So I'm gonna have to really go over that. I should be back in a moment with a drink this time. So bear with me a moment, please. Don't do that. Oh yeah. You comfy, kitty? Good. Cat's comfy. That's always good, isn't it? And don't show what medication you're on live on camera. That's not a very good idea. And make sure you get your headphones right around. Is an even better one. Right. It's not gone cold yet. It's not gone cold yet. It only just been made literally about seconds before it had gone live. I just forgot to bring it in with me like an idiot. Okay, so I'll take these. I'll take this. Anyways, perfect temperature now, so I can. Cheers, everyone. Right, what was I doing again? Oh yeah, painting Tyranids. I'm painting the. I always forget the name of this model. It's the. Oh, what is it? It's a type of tyrant. It's a no biscuits, no biscuits. I know how I reacted to that one straight away. No biscuits. I mean, I think I've got some ginger nuts up in the cupboard. I think I've got some ginger nuts left, but I want to save them for later. See, biscuits have distracted me. Like kryptonite. What was it saying? Oh, Neuro Tyrant. That was. Well, that was quick, wasn't it? I couldn't think of this a moment ago. Neuro Tyrant. Yeah. So now I've got two Neuro Tyrants. I still don't have a Hive Tyrant, but I'm kind of okay with that. Because I've got two non-figures, whether it be the Emissary or the Annihilator. Both are quite nice. Looking at them, I do kind of prefer the Emissary. I've got to say. He can still run up and punch things quite well, but it's having that extra range and being able to give it a ridiculous either objective control or ability to kick the crap out of a vehicle. Although I think they both get that. I'm going to have to look into that one. I think they both get the ability to kick the crap out of a vehicle or get a silly. No, because one of them gets the spear thing to help him shorten the distance to charge in and smash something up, which is why he's quite good. I like him. The problem is having one of each kind of tells your opponent, this one's going to be staying back and this one's going to be running at you. Having two of one kind of help. Yeah, he's like, right, okay. He could do either with the ones that are ranged. He could run them at me, or he could just shoot me back and wait for me to come to him. Or if it's both the close combat ones, it's like, I can't kill them both before they get to me. Pick one and focus it down. But the good thing is I have enough that I can now throw my Space Marines, and enough of them that are painted to a similar degree of these, except for they've not been based, I don't believe, or some of them haven't been based. Certainly not in this tea leaf stuff. This one might actually be better painted than that one by the end of it. Let's see if I can fade that out a little, so it's not as stark when I put the yellow on. I'll wet it again and get it to move over the area one, and then kind of wipe it off. It still says a little bit purpley in the recesses, but allows me to still paint over it yellow afterwards, so that should work, I hope. Either that or he's going to completely screw the purple up underneath. One of the two. We'll find out. Well, this is what this is. It's a learning curve for everybody. Me, especially, because I'm the one doing all this, and anyone else who's going, right, that's how you don't do it then. Right, fair enough. Or some people might say, oh, not a bad idea. I've just realized something through all of this. I forgot to put the link in the... Let's go back to there. And, oh no, I mean, it's got to listen to my voice, doesn't it? I have done, and I've done it once for this edition. So far, I've met up with one of my regular opponents for this edition once. In fairness, over the last few years, he's become increasingly more difficult. Ever since that one that said, no, you're not allowed to go out and play anymore. From then onwards, it's been like, oh, stuff. But I've managed to get a few games in against, at one time, what would have been essentially weekly opponents. If I wasn't playing, they'd be playing each other. Or type of thing. So somebody was always playing every week. It's been quite a while since it was that, but yes, I do have a small group of friends that I could play this against if we ever actually got the chance to set it up properly again. The main thing is room. So to play it effectively, essentially we need one person's house to be available, regardless of who's playing. So if that person's not available, we kind of wow, I got 7 likes. Thank you very much to all 7 people who clicked like. Thank you very much. Because although I technically can set a table up in my living room or in my kitchen, gotta get it right, there's not much maneuvering room. You can't really walk around the table, and there's not much. I mean, when I played here last, and I think it's the only actual physical there. Can't think at the moment. Battle report, that was it. It was me against the Necrons. Thanks for reminding me. So yeah, me against the Necrons, and we played here. And the table was like right up to this end pretty much as we can get. Or at least, yeah, it was very tight around the table, so it's not the ideal room to play. I mean, I could move the chair over a bit further, and that'll probably give me a lot more room actually. So yeah, get my tables back first of all, sort my scenery out. I get enough of it so that my models don't look. So it looks good for the table, and then yeah, I should be able to play myself. Play myself, not play. Don't say the other one because somebody's going to click that. I'm not that daft. I mean, I am. There's probably plenty of times that somebody could have clipped me out already out there. But I'm not falling for that one. 7 likes. Yeah, I know. I know. It is shocking to me as well. I'm not quite sure what's happening to this world. But I can't control what other people do. Thank goodness. Because could you imagine me in control? Yeah, the world's going to crap. Although I have learnt one or two things. One is, yeah, take a chill. Not everything's what you think it is. And not everyone's meaning it the way you think you mean it. Or they mean it. It's a weird one, because I thought I already knew that one. No, nothing near me, Alice. Nothing like that near me. There is a place in Stockport that I could get to, but it's lugging all my army up there, pain in the. It's got to take me at least an hour and a half to get there if I go by bus, and I'm not paying bus fare and train fare, so I'll go by bus. Did a paint all the way down into there? I did on him. I don't want to on him. I kind of I'm just going to go off track for one small second. Evening Buzzard. I've painted that bit purple on this one. I'm not going to on this one. I want to paint yellow and see how it turns out. So we'll have some slight variance in this one, just because of how the model looks. So yeah, getting to Stockport and back is a pain in the ass, and I could probably arrange an opponent to. Because I have family who play this as well. They just live too far away for it to be a local game. So someone to meet me there and play, but no, I don't have anything like this close by, which is kind of why I've dropped into actually painting them, because I never actually bothered painting them. I used to just play with them, which no doubt was, well, it was just as annoying for them as it was for me, because their armies were never painted either. That was one thing we never did within our playing group while we was playing, because we were playing so regularly. None of us really were particularly great painters. I mean, there's a few of us that were okay painters. So we kind of had a loose paint job on some of the models, and then there were others that was just it was still grey. They didn't even bother priming it. Their entire army was just grey. So once I stopped playing regularly, and I think coming up to a couple of years now, I decided to start doing the painting instead. Well, because I wasn't playing anymore. So I still wanted to get enjoyment out of my models, and painting was a side that I'd not fully explored. So hey presto, here we are. So yeah, no, it's not really worth it for me to travel all that way just to have a chance of not having a game or having a not enjoyable game. That's the thing that would disappoint me more than anything else. It's not that I wouldn't get a game. So knowing my luck, I'd turn up with this Tyranid army, which is to a degree balanced in regards to infantry and monsters and stuff that needs to sit back and stuff that runs forward. It's reasonably balanced. And I come up against what would essentially be the list that Jessica took against me when we did the tabletop simulator, which is a tournament list. And that's like going, yeah, I'm testing meta while you're playing fluff. So mine's trying to be a nice story-based and themed-ish army regarding how the law works, whereas they're playing, right, I'm going to look at the rules, see what hits hardest, hits fastest, and can kill you the best. Right, that's what I'm going to take. And it's the two armies don't work when they play against each other that well. I mean, you can still get a game out of it. Don't get me wrong, it works. The game mechanics will still function, but the armies themselves are not built with the same idea in mind, and that's a big thing with this. If you're playing for fun, you may make a few alternate decisions for the sake of making it fun. So rather than just going, right, okay, that's obviously the best. That one with them and stick them in it and stick that in it. But we're supposed to be playing this type of mission and this is supposed to be what's going on. So they wouldn't really be there. It would be these types of units and this type of unit. You're building it around a story and you're taking the units, you're trying to play it out that way to a degree, or keep it right balanced. You can only have you've got to try and take something that takes on everything, but that's limitations on what you can take. So it has its pluses and minuses because you don't want to limit what people can take, because then it doesn't become fun for them because they're not taking what they want. It's just usually it's a good idea to make sure you know your opponent and their play style well enough to know that you're what gonna play with the same intention, shall we say. The game with me and Jessica was just that's the list she had available, and that's the list I had available. And I need to learn how to use Tabletop Simulator. I've now figured out I need a little bit more RAM just to make sure that I can get all the sprites in on screen. Because, yeah, at another point, I couldn't actually see a building that was quite blatantly on the table. So it was difficult for me to. It's like trying to strategize when your opponent can see a house and all you see is flat land. So they know they can hide behind that house, but you don't know they can hide behind that house. It's a weird conundrum. I know. Very odd. But yeah, Jessica could hide behind a house, and I didn't know that because I didn't know the house was there. Knowing that house was there, I would have been able to adapt my movements to at the very least to compensate for the fact that there was a house there, and not being aware of me unable to see it. They didn't know to point that out until the crucial moment came, and it was like, "What do you mean there's a house there? No, send me a screenshot." Don't believe you. I can't see one. Oh crap! There's a house there. I mean, it's a strange thing to explain. Is this hobby? It almost has a life in and to itself to everybody who plays it, or collects it, or paints it, or does any aspect of it. It gains its own little. This is strange. And I'm not following the basic rules. I've not got my pivot points. In case you wonder what that means, is one of my elbows or one of my arms is not rooted to, or not positioned on a table for stability. which helps you help stable hands, and you don't make a mess as much. So really, I should be doing that. But then I'm really out of the way of the camera, and that's not great. Okie dokie, Kirsty, you have a good night. Thank you for joining me, and for my sound checks, and for my corrections. And for being a subscriber. Usually one of the first ones here is Kirsty. Right, is that all the purple done on this one? Have a look round. Make bloody well sure. No, you see, there's a da-dink, 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 da-dink right there. You know, sometimes it just really does. Really does just does your eyes. Anyway, I'll clear that out of the way because, yeah. It's dark, and it's dark on it as well. Without that dry brush over the top, it doesn't bring out the edges as much as, well, you can see there what the dry brush does, because that's the difference. Right, another double check. Have I missed anywhere? There's a couple of places that need recatching. The reason why I love this paint is that reactivation. So I go back over it with more of the wet stuff, and it just naturally just rubs and blends in together at the end. It's fucking awesome. The only problem is it's only really useful for stuff like this. Well, yeah. Once I've finished with the Tyranids, I think I'll be putting the speed paints away for a bit, to be quite honest. Need to make sure I do dig out. Yeah, I see little undersides under there. I believe that's him. Right, now for this one. So my idea is to do every colour at once on all of them. And by the time I get round to the first model again, I should be okay to paint it because it's dry. I think everybody else uses that idea as well. I don't think it's unique to me, but it doesn't always work. Honestly, over this, while I've been doing these live streams, and you've all been coming to chat to me, that I've noticed that sometimes the tried and tested techniques fail for no reason whatsoever, other than that I can think of. They want to annoy me by not fucking working. Either that, or I've done something really. You can turn notifications on for Discord. I've got to say my Discord is particularly quiet. There are not many members, so it's quite a open, free space at the moment. The rules are a little bit harsh, but you can talk to the moderators and the unpaid goons and the boss. If they're in there talking, you can talk to them. Doesn't mean you can't talk to them. It just means they won't take any bullcrap. I don't know why I said bullcrap. I could have quite easily said bullshit, which is what I meant. Because I've already swore once on this stream, so it doesn't matter. Real, yeah, that's what was annoying me. That's better, isn't it? Probably not, actually. Thinking, no, go back, go back. Yes. Yeah. If you go into your notification settings, you can turn notifications on for Discord. And then if anything were to happen in one of the in one of the groups that you're in, then it would send you a notification that is happening. Luckily, at the moment, I can't hear my phone, but I'm guaranteeing my phone during this stream doing beep, 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 beep on the other side. I just can't see it because the screen's the other way around. I can hear it in my headphones here, though, whenever it chimes up on Discord on the computer. So, for instance, now I will hear a Discord notification if it was to go up. Discord. I'm not sure. I pronounce it different every bloody time. So yeah, if I can't find an opponent, I'm going to have to play myself. Unless now, if you're watching, this is no pressure. But unless essentially who everyone associates and politely and endearingly call Mrs. Laz, because they know the reference for her. Because obviously I don't give any names out. Well, I try not to unless they're already known within the channel anyway. So yeah, Mrs. Laz offers to at least roll the other side for dice just to give it what should be the true variance between the two sides, which is different people rolling dice both sides. I'll probably have to make both armies, which is gonna be tough for me. Because I can tweak each of them slightly to just break what the other one would be doing to counter it. So if they've gone plasmas and melters to deal with the big stuff, and then the plasmas can deal with the little stuff anyway, I can actually take a couple of big things out to put more little stuff in. So there's the less effective. So I can kind of meta myself a little bit, which I don't want to do. And it's exactly what I was complaining about earlier. I know, which is why I don't want to do it. So I'm thinking to see if I can get as much of a company as I can into one army. So start with a captain and a base amount of, say, 3 5-man troops, which should be enough to deal with the 40 termagants, in fairness. And then maybe throw like the Terminators, something, the Stern Guard veterans. And then, depending what the captain is, something for him to go with. They would definitely want something anti-tank, anti-monster, but they'd also want something essentially try and balance it as balancedly as loads of talk before anything else. Always a good idea before you start a YouTube channel. I'm yet to actually figure that one out properly. Yeah, so try and build a balanced-ish army that's similar to this one in the regard that you've got to be able to do a few things. So I might put the dreadnoughts in, I might put the vehicle in, just to give them something bigger and heavier than what would just be a outright. Thank you very much for the hydration notification. Yeah, to break up the outright infantry. There are 2 dreadnoughts and 1 vehicle that I could physically put in. But actually, no, there are 4 dreadnoughts if I use the little ones. I'm not overly keen on using the little ones. However, I might. And then, of course, it's to what degree of are we implementing all the rules? Like, for example, when I did that run through, there was a lot of the special rules not applied. There was no CP or stratagems used, and a lot of the extra stuff that's basically what you've got to try and remember. And if you're playing in tournaments, it's the stuff that makes it all the mechanics and stuff work. If you take a lot of that out and just use the data sheets for the actual units, the game becomes a lot simpler. Not completely simple, but a lot simpler. Just by removing stratagems, for instance, removing specialized army traits. So the Space Marines don't get the Oath of Moment. The Tyranids don't get the what thingy, which is actually quite a big thing for these because some of the mechanics on the units work around making the enemy break and flee and breaking morale and stuff. Not a problem. Not a problem. You enjoy your night, Alistair. What was I saying? I can't remember. Oh, I've lost track. Oh, that was it. Yeah, some of the actual data card rules interact slightly with the army rule. So the Neuralix is not as potent without the army rule, but it can still be used. The ability to, I think it's reroll hit rolls against a single target for the entire army for Space Marines is a powerful rule, especially on anything that's got devastating wounds. Anything with devastating wounds, you're fishing for hits first of all, but the more hits you've got through, the more chance you've got of getting the 6s to wound. And lethal hits even better. Lethal hits is even better. Because then you can fish for the 6s and you don't even have to bother wounding. So you do lose quite a lot of power. Good evening, Jack. Good evening, Jack. Well, I hope your family stuff goes well. I hope it all goes well. I hope you enjoy yourself. Hope it's good stuff on a Monday night. I'm guessing it's football and drinks. But I could be completely wrong. If I am, I'm sorry, but I took a guess. I'm going for sports and alcohol. Nice bonding moment. Although I don't know if anyone's actually playing tonight. There's usually a game on, isn't there? Because you do Saturday, Sunday, and then one game's usually left over for Monday. Or am I just thinking completely off, way off. I think I might just be way off. Never mind, ignore me. A lot of people do. Saying that is hit that like and subscribe, people. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not going to stop you. Hit notification bell if you really, really want to. Again, it's just the ramblings of a madman as he plies paper plastic models. And sometimes there are voices. And occasionally some people come up and join him. He might have a run. He might not. Although I do have to remember to look at the chat. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So there's no point in the chat. You coming and being in the chat if I'm not looking or paying any attention to you. It's rather disgruntled and disheartening for you. I understand. I too sit in chat rooms. And it's nice when there's only a few. No worries, man. You have a good night, Jack. I was rambling again, wasn't I? Why does nobody ever stop me rambling? I suppose then there'll be a lot of dead air. I've not got any music in the background or anything this time. So I have to ramble. I have to talk and fill the space with complete shite that comes out of my face. Ooh. I'm a poet and I didn't. Well, I kind of knew it was going to rhyme. Just not sure what with. Which kind of makes it difficult to know that you was going to rhyme it, I suppose. But I had confidence in my ability. Doesn't always come out right. Doesn't always work. There's something that says do his predator face a bit different, like. Right. Here's a crazy idea. See how all that bit's yellow? Well, if we just paint this bit yellow and paint all that bit purple, that'll make them look different, won't it? But I'm only going to do it on the top two arms. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. It's just occurred to me then. Don't do all the arms. It's going to be overkill. But at least then I can tell the difference between my two card effects. While one of them smacks a Neurotyrant in the head. That's twice I just remembered it off the cuff and I can never remember. I said I can never remember the name of it. Way to prove yourself right there. So yeah, paint the top two major plates purple. Then from there, yeah, I hope that works. I really don't want to have to strip this down, or at least the arms down, just to repaint this section. That would require a lot of masking. Or tedious work with an earbud, Q-tip, whatever you would like to call it. One of the things you're not supposed to stick in your ear and get the earwax out with. Thank you very much, Jack. Thank you. I'm still not 100% happy with them, but I'm at least happy with the direction they're headed, if that makes sense. Shouldn't do, because I got no idea. Doesn't quite make sense to me, but never mind. Or it kind of half makes sense. It's weird. Yeah. Welcome to the inner workings of my mind, people. You and I am not sure what I'm on about. Especially when I'm trying to focus on. Oh, I'm not even on camera. Yeah. I'm trying to focus on going around 2 of those thingies rather than just 1. So I do still want to colour them in yellow if I can. It's gonna be difficult. But you never know unless you try. I also need to figure out a way to get a crap load, well, not crap load, double the amount of RAM that I've already got, as well as however much Baldur's Gate 3 costs, because I actually want to play that game now. I've seen not a lot of the game, but I've heard a lot regarding the game mechanics and how true it is to, and it sounds fun because of how true it is to the actual base rulebook I pretty much have there. So that would be an interesting game. So I'm also, that's one of my thoughts at the moment, how to do that. Not quite sure how I'm going to accomplish it, but the future is yet to be done. Except for in like 3 seconds, I can tell you what that's going to be. I'm going to be drinking. Yes, it does. That liquid face mask stuff, what that's really good for is chipping. So what you do is you get, say, a pipe or a container. You paint it in a base rust metal. So usually a paint it normal base metal, whether it's lead belcher from Games Workshop, bolt gun, steel, just basic steel if you're getting it from that type of metallic paint, and then you dry brush it with something like a Montblanc brown to make it look a little bit dirty and rusty. Then get a sponge with that latex stuff and dab it all over it. Let it dry, and then paint it a color that you want it to be painted. And then once that's dry, take a stiff brush and move off all the latex stuff, and it leaves chipping marks underneath where the paint's been flaked and chipped, and it's a really nice effect. So yeah, that's usable. That's usable. I mean, if you were to paint it on into thick enough layer, you could peel it off, but there is a possibility of, if you put it on in too thick of a layer, it'll remove the paint underneath. So you don't want to be going really heavy-handed on it. But yeah, you can do it. You can use it. I've not finished painting purple. I've just realised I've missed all his predator mask and his little predator head crest. Essentially all this bit around here, and this bit here, and this bit in the middle of his bod. That's not good, is it? Especially when I've got paint drying in the paint palette. It's not good, lads. Good. Sort your bleeding neck out. Right. So remembering to do his predatory bits. Remember to put your elbows and arms on the table so you steady your hands. Gotta go back for this speed paint a fair bit, I'll give you that much. I'm just hoping I've got enough green and yellow to finish off the rest of the army. I really am, because it's quite hard to get this speed paint anymore because it's the first edition one. So unless you're scouring game shops looking for outdated paint stock, you're not going to get this stuff anymore because they've replaced it all. So I'm not happy about. I don't have any game shops that are going out of stock or anything. It's really bloody difficult to resupply. See you later, Jack. Thank you very much for joining us, mate, and for putting the notifications on. Have a good night with your dad. I'm betting you drop before he does. That's history tells me so. Never try and outdrink your dad. Always remember he's always got that so many years gap experience on you. Oh, he's 88 now. Yeah. And he's got an 88-year-old liver that's just kicked the crap out of Scotch for the last 60 years. Don't touch him. Don't challenge him. Right. So are you dry? Let's move back on to these two. Tea, remembered. Thank you. Do I want to do green or the yellow next? Looking at him. All right, should I say? Sheer brilliance, Jack. I'm going to go with sheer brilliance rather than coincidence because I'm modest. Don't worry, that was a close guess. But yeah, I bet he still outdrinks you. 88 or not, I bet he still outdrinks you. Yellow or green, yellow or green, yellow or green. Yellow. See, that's why I wanted to try these, because cleaning that, let's see, there's a little bit of crap in there and boop, done. That's why I wanted to try this poppy thing. My son wasn't overjoyed until he realized that I found all these others, so he still got another 6 left. But yeah, I'm using one of these. And these, right. Right, I'm going to have to definitely keep an eye out for these brushes, these bulb made ones. These actually are decent for crap brushes. Oh, pardon me. Right. See, I wish I could take the thingies off them so I could see how much I had left. But that looks like orange and red to me, and that's actually the yellow. So I don't think I should. Really don't think I should. Let's see, it's been sat on the desk for a little bit longer and make sure I give it a decent shake. This time I'm going to put quite a bit in because I do have some chunky parts to do. Especially on this big way. He's got all that backside there, all that backside, all of that side is going to be yellow. I know. Disgusting, isn't it? Well, he's a bug. What do you expect? He's not up to human hygiene levels. He doesn't wipe his backside. He just craps out more biomatter. That's not why the skin's yellow, by the way. The skin's yellow because they've devoured, or at least tried to devour, Wazdaka, which is something you would have to really geek out and look up because it is so unofficial that it's only got very scant mentions as far as I'm aware. In fact, that's what I would love to ask some of the lore masters. Yeah, these are not sensitive about your biomatter at all. They would quite happily eat it and shite it out as a new little form of their own. They're kind and considerate like that. All they want to do is nom everything. They don't care if it's grass, cow, human, giant centipede that's lived for 16 million years and travels through the cosmos devouring stars. No, they'll eat anything. It's great. Which is why they don't like the Necrons too much, because the Necrons are made of metal. So we can't eat you. Or can we? No, they can't. Not as far as I'm aware, anyway. They can't eat the Necrons. Eat pretty much every other race in the galaxy. Which is why I chose them to face an Arc race. An Arc one, which gives them the little green tinges, and with there being a lot of freebooters in there, also for some reason has affected them with a yellow tinge. Arc psychology and arc psychic power is incredibly strong, as well as arc genetics, which are in these slightly. Because although they consumed and repurposed a lot of the matter, some of it somehow, unbeknownst to the hive mind, has managed to make its way through and infect this small little hive fleet of mine. So if my Tyranids ever team up with Arcs, there's a reason for it. And Wazdak and Gutsmith was one of my favourite Arc characters, and they've not really done much with him, which just made me quite sad. That was such a good character. When you do anything, he was an awesome speed one. And he invented a brand new war trucks. Anyway, stop being grumpy about something you've already been whinging about for however long. You have a good night, Captain. No worries, Jessica. No worries. I was asked earlier where you were. I said, there's a good possibility you're doing something else. I suggested possibly finishing off a couple of commissions because you've been, from whatever's been going on with the thingy site, your competition site. I mean, obviously, each week somebody wins a commission painted, depending what level he goes up to, a commission painted model, don't they? Or at least commission painted combat patrol, which that is a fair bit to do if you're doing up to the high standard every week. Oh, that's no problem. I'm kind of more doing myself on my own tonight, I think. It turns out that way. Nobody's actually requested. And I've not dropped the link because I think it's a bit pushy. There's the link. Somebody come up with me. It is a bit pushy. If you want to come up, by all means, contact me, message me. The easiest method is I've got a Discord channel. It's in the link of the channel. Join up. You can message me through Discord, and Discord pops up on here, and it's a way that I can send the message over. Should you message me for it? I should go to purple ones, personal ones now, just to double check. There you go. So that'll probably be the best way. Right, next model, which is this one. I did him second, didn't I? So he should be most dry now. I should be dry now. Hurry up and dry you. See, I did want 2 of these in, which is why I was gutted they weren't in the starter box. Although I did get this at a decent price, so I shouldn't complain too much. But these things throw out a 6+ feel no pain bubble, which is absolutely excellent. You can cover a good chunk of the board with 2 of them. And if you can get them hidden behind something so they can't necessarily be targeted but can still catch the units within that bubble, then they're going to be really annoying. You just had a little bit of extra toughness to even the basic infantry. Even if it's only a 6+, it's still a chance. Especially when you've already failed your armor save. I mean, these themselves actually have a 5+. See you later, Captain. So Jessica. Yeah, so these actually have a 5+ themselves, which is nice. They've got a decent armor save, if I remember correctly. I think they've got a 3. Don't think they've got a 2+. And that might be a bit excessive for these. I'm pretty certain they're on a 3 or a 4+ armor save. No invulnerable save, but I feel no pain. Stick it next to a non-emissary, which has got a 4+ invulnerable save. So even if you're packing high AP weapons like melter guns and stuff to get rid of beasts, then it's got a decent armor save or it's invulnerable save, and then it's got a 6+ chance to ignore anything or each damage after that as well. It's a bit of a bugger, and it's a big durability boost overall throughout the army. Having 1 in though means they can just go right, just kill that one, and then you lose it. Now, so having 2 in, so it's now like, oh, I've got to get rid of both the bloody things because he just moves that one over there and it's right in the middle and everything's got it again. I don't like giving people easy one-shot targets or easy one-shot dangers. Because if you lose that one shot, then you're screwed, essentially. I know quite how you just one big creature and going, yeah, I'm going to stomp you with creatures, and you've only got one of them. Well, if they're lucky enough to get rid of that one creature very quickly, then your stuff, the rest of your army, isn't equipped to take it on because everything was thrown into that one big creature. That's why I like to throw out several big creatures and lots of little grunts that can do stuff. Well, with Tyranids anyway. Actually, I do prefer playing infantry only with Space Marines. But that's from a past bias from past editions where vehicles just were not up to snuff. So maybe if I do get a chance to either... No, it'd have to be play this test game against myself because I want to use vehicles in it. I want to use an army that I wouldn't normally use against these Tyranids. So I'll probably play quite a fluffy army with some dreadnoughts and vehicles in there, just to see how differently they play. Because if it's big monsters against big monsters that are doing the heavy damage, I think that's about that's fair. So dreadnoughts with onslaught Gatling cannons and big fists and the ballistus missile launcher and las cannon, just to lay down some heavy fire, especially against the Norns, because they're going to need it, especially against the Norns. Now, I know the Norn Annihilator is going to be able to rip all the vehicles apart, but the tank is quite sturdy. I think it's something like toughness 12 or toughness 14, so it's not going to get taken out by the Carnifex. It's too easy. I know that much because it was what stumped me, pretty much what stumped me when I played the Grey Knights. I just couldn't get past the bloody thing. Wounded on 5 for a Carnifex is not nice. But that's because we was only playing data sheet. There was no stratagems apart from the basic command stratagem. So we did... Yeah, I struggled to get past that bloody Land Raider, which is, again, part of the reason why I'm willing to give them a try, because they look better in this edition. They seem to perform better in this edition. I've just seen a big block of purple there that I've missed. Well, I've got yellow on my brush at the moment, so I'm going to forget about that until I have to wash my brush in a sec. And then I'll come back and redo all that purple that I've just spotted. That was never good, is it? It's never good. No, wash my brush. I've still got some purple. Come back in and clean that area up. Double check now. There's nothing else that I've missed. Nope. I'm all right. I'm all right. No, it's a little nubby tail. Leave it. It's green. Okay. I worried then for a second that I've missed the bottom of his tail a bit, and that was supposed to be purple as well. Looking shiny, just like. But no, luckily, it is not. Oh, lovely painting yellow on a great big fucking beast. It's got claws that it's gonna use to have itself a feast. It's gonna open up the armor like it's a tin can of spam. And he's gonna munch down on you cause he likes Spice Town. Really shouldn't sing, shouldn't I? No, not a good idea. I know. I've got a singing voice like a cat getting mutilated by a wood chip grinder. Although I didn't scare everybody off, I still have one viewer still. So thank you for whoever managed to put with my tone deaf singing. So this has got a lot of yellow on this one. I think this one's got the most yellow overall showing. Most of them have, all the others seem to have a lot more armor covering up the flesh. Don't get me wrong, the Norns were quite hefty on the skin, but you know, with my decision to do all four long limbs of his yellow and only have a little bit of purple towards the tip to break up the yellow and the green, it gave him a lot of yellow. So here's hoping my idea of putting a bit of purple up there on that one is gonna help not messed it up. Because it might not work. It might not work now. They'll put that purple up there. It might not look right. This is where you have to make sure you've got your hands steady. Because you're trying to put a yellow tint in the middle of that purple bit. And that's a pain in the rear end. It really is a pain in the rear end. Especially when you've got a rather large brush, because you don't want to chop and change brushes every 30 seconds. No, this brush is fine. It works. I will be changing brushes for green, however. I would like a slightly smaller and more stable brush to be doing the green with. Yeah, I've got to go back under all that with purple. Actually, no, I don't really need to do. That's okay. That seems to be blended. I'll see how it looks after I've finished. I do still have to do the dry brush stage after all this, which is possibly the hardest and easiest stage all in one foul swoop. Because the technique itself is so simple. But if I fuck it up, then it's stripping the model back down and starting again. It's like the one stage that will just completely kill or crush the model. Kill or save the model, should I say. Crush or kill it. Yeah, crush and kill it. Either way, it's a very dubious and scary time at the painting point. There is another stage that I have to do on all these, but I've got to go out and buy it, which is I say buy it. I've got to buy it or make it, which is the wash stage. Because I don't have any yellow or purple wash to be able to do them. And technically I could make it out the speed paint by thinning it out even more. And I know you could do that. And I do have some contrast medium. I'm just not sure how it would react with the army paint, because because Citadel contrast medium. How will it react with army paint or speed paint, and will it give the desired effect? I'm not sure. I would like a tester model to be able to do it. However, I don't have a tester model anymore, so I can't. I did actually have a spare model, come to think of it, so I could have tested it out, but never mind. That is no longer in my possession, so I'm just going to deal with that bit and move on now. It's flown the coop. Hopefully, literally. Buggered off. No longer here. Right, now for the annoying bit, because there's two of them on this one. Two of them. Two of these little bits. What kind of friggin' psychopath? Put two of them on there. Oh no, but I wish he hadn't. Ah, get off. It's going all right so far. Seeing as a big and angry here is the last of the yellow. While I remember going around picking up, catching up a couple of the missed spots. People have said, yeah, you can always go back and do them. Yes, you can always go back and do them, but there's a key point in that you've got to remember to. So I say, do it while you remember rather than wait until you've forgotten and going, oh crap, later on down the line. I'm making sure I get his bonds right now. That's his head, you see. I believe. No, still some more yellow in there to get. And there. And there. So let's grab that big chunk of. There we go. Oh, still more yellow. Like I said, this guy's got a lot of it. And he's scattered all over the bloody place. It's not. There's quite a bit of purple that I've missed on the underside of him, so I'm definitely going to have to go back and sort that out. However, so keep on the yellow while I've got it on my brush. And ideally, this will be the last of it. Then I can do a quick swap to purple, catch his missing bits. And then move on to green. I now have no viewers. I have lost everybody. Oh, I'll talk to myself. So I'll find the bits of purple that I missed, which are under there. I mean, I know I don't have to be as finicky with the undersides if I don't want to be, but there's certain parts are like, yeah, I definitely need to get that. That's gonna get seen. That's gonna get caught. That should be done by the light, or at least catching some kind of light, even if it's only a slight reflection. So it should be getting a little bit of the underside under here. So thank you for everyone who joined me so far this evening. I hope you all have a nice night. And if anyone wishes to join me for the remainder of the stream, please feel free. I might give this one a red mouth instead of the green mouth. I'll think about that while I'm doing it. I needed a bit more yellow, didn't I? Just to come back and have I just put a great big yellow squash down there? No, I haven't. That's okay. Yeah, I think I am going to go with the red. But let's see how that. Okay, that's not too bad actually. That's not too bad at all. That was good. Right. Green. Now this is the annoying color out of all of them. This is the really annoying color out of all of them. It's stressful. It is stressful. In fact, it is so stressful. And I want to make sure that yellow's paint's dried properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm temporarily. I want to drop this one down first of all. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm still going to let you know that I'm still here. I'm doing something, but I'm going to look for something, anything, please. Oh, I know what I can do. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Oh, I've got a direct notification. Okay, that's okay. No, do it properly. Okay, so if I do this, and I'm only doing this because I have no viewers currently at this moment. If I do that, you will know what's going on. So I shall be back in a few minutes. I'll try not to be too long, but we shall see how long it actually take. Hopefully only about 5-10. And then I shall continue because I really want to make sure that yellow is dry, because if it's not dry, it mixes horribly with the green. Actually, we'll be back soon. I removed the wrong one. I'm an idiot. I know I am. Complete absolute buffoon. But I am back. Sorry about the right there, people. I wasn't going too long. So, green. I just realised if I do green, I spent all that time waiting for all the others to dry. But if we do green now, I'm going to have to wait for it to dry for the dry brush. So I am going to do green now. However, what I might do is get them all to this stage. So it's kind of a contrasting difference. And then just do a mass dry brush for everything that I will need for the battle. To get them done first and then go through after that. So, with that being said, what bloody brush do I wish to use? Believe it or not, this Bold Mirror size 0 is going to be the winner. It's quite a small brush, but it'll work. It'll work. I'm just hoping I've not run out of green when I went splurging across my entire desk. For those of you who missed that, I can't remember which one it was on. It was definitely on one of the Tyranid ones. I'm going to have to go find that bit and just clip it out, I think. Don't happen again. No, there we go. That's better. That should, I hope, be enough because I want to use this green sparingly because I don't have much of it left after losing a lot on my desk. No, I'm going to need a bigger brush than that. And I don't want to use that brush for it because I don't think that brush is going to be good enough. I really don't want to use one of my good brushes. Not for speed paints. I'm going to use the Citadel colour brush. Don't ask me why, I'm just getting a good feeling. Use the Citadel colour brush. It's a synthetic as opposed to a natural. But something just told me I should be using this one and not that ridiculous size one. So get his little smokestacks. These are the things that I think give out the feel no pain rule for him. And gives him that aura. I think that's what this does. So I'm not actually sure what this part of him's supposed to be doing. I know anything spiky is not good. And he's got kind of anti-psychic abilities from his mouth, so that bit will be done kind of green as well, like the end of his tendrils and stuff. So all along there. Right up until the point where I painted it yellow. So I do have a bit of merging between the colours. Not a great deal, but a little bit. Right, now this is the bit that I messed up last time because there's actually a Space Marine leg in there. So this time I would actually like to be able to. It's going to be a pain to go back and pick that one out because I messed that one up completely without realizing that this was here properly and how difficult it was going to be to get around afterwards. So this time I'm going to leave it because its color scheme is actually the color scheme of my army. So fair enough. if they've got to have it at any Space Marines, it's got to have been mine, really, isn't it? Because they spend more time with them than anyone else. Big thick coat on there, big thick coat on there, and then come back. No, it's a bit thinned out, and come back for the tentacles. I said tentacles for anyone listening to this and hasn't not so clean mind, or it's just watched way too much Beavis and Butthead like me. I'm kind of getting. I'm doing all right. I just got on this side. I just got this blade thing to do. Say blade thing. It's its leg. Somebody seriously needs a manicure. If I've made that joke before, then it must have worked and I've done it again. If I've not, then fair enough. Next side. I know I've done this out of order, haven't I? I should have done the Neurotyrant. I remembered this time. Bleeding nuts 3 times in a row. Come on. I'm doing all right tonight. I remembered stuff. It's a rarity. I know. It's a rarity. But sometimes I do remember things. Not very often. But sometimes I do. I believe that is all the green for him done. Let's have a wash out of the brush just to make sure. And then we'll go from there. Have a look. Yeah, this one seems to be darker and have a more cartoony element to it, which I'm not entirely happy about. But it might help to, again, as I've had to do the purple on the back of them, and telling them apart is going to be a big key thing on the if I actually get to play with them. So any way I can actually tell them apart is happily warranted and granted and welcomed. Right, he has purple hooves. He's getting green hooves. I think of them similar with them two. One's got purple hooves, one's got green hooves. Yeah, no, in fact, no, that's exactly what I've done. One's got purple hooves, one's got green hooves. Just to make it a little bit easier to tell them apart. The one that's more oh god, my voice was whoa. The one that's more deadly in close combat has the purple hooves. No, sorry, has the green hooves. The one that's more stationary has the purple hooves. Paint his little butt tail spiky thing. Paint it on both sides, otherwise it's wrong. Now I'll tickle it underneath. There we go. I know, I've got the humour of a child. It's one of my more endearing features, I believe. Many people disagree. And they're allowed to. I have grown up that much. And I'm still painting plastic toys, so please don't say anything about that. And to anyone who's made it this far into the video, thank you very much. Thank you so very much for staying this long. You get a bonus 5 points to your endurance stat if you've managed to watch the entire thing all the way through. Painting green things. Painting lots of green things. Hopefully they'll all dry soon and then I can dry brush them. That didn't rhyme, see? Told you it doesn't always work. Doesn't always work. But always still give it a go. Right, yeah. Paint your wash. You just spit things at him, don't you? Well, you scream at them, but then I can turn around. He's got a bio cannon. What do you mean he's got a bio cannon? Look at his mouth. So normal cannon effects with a bio cannon. And then my opponents go, no. Oh yeah, look. Paid the points. That's what his data sheet says. Just because he's got 4 claws doesn't mean. You do a lot with paint, you see. You can represent a lot with paint. You may not have the model, but your friends are fine. Or your opponent, if you've never met them before. As long as it's a friendly game and everyone's okay with it. Yeah, fuck it, why not? See? Anyone who says you can't use a screamer killer card effects as a normal card effects is a complete moron and not somebody you should probably be playing with, because they're the type of person who will deliberately misrule in their favor every time. So if a rule can be interpreted in a way that favors them, it will always be interpreted that way, even when it comes to an argument where it's now working in your favor. Oh, no, that's not how it works. And they'll argue against you in their own favor that way. So let's have a quick look at these two. And okay, I quite like that extra purple armor bit up there. That's quite nice. I'm all right with that. So I'm going to do the last bit of green, and then I'm going to end the stream. I'm not finished yet. I've still got this model to actually do, and I can't remember which bits are green on him. So it's the brainy bits at the front there, the little bits at the end down here, and some brainy bits at the back. Okay. Okay, that doesn't seem like too much, really, does it? That doesn't seem like too much at all. So we shall go and do that. Starting with Zibbelane. You do right, yeah. Steady hands. Steady. Steady now. See, I'll quote that one more than I'll quote all the newer three. Because at least that one didn't hide the fact that it was a kid's film, like all the others were. And all the piss-assy adults were the ones who were like, oh, no, you've ruined it with this. Yeah, fine, the pod race went too long, and Jar Jar can be a bit annoying. But Jesus Christ, it's not Finn. I still remember the day I saw that initial trailer for that, where Finn pops his face up out of the thingy, and sends my friends all onto the screen were fake. It just wasn't believable. His acting just. Sorry to say, when the first Star Wars film had Sir Alec Guinness in it, they had some relatively young, up and coming, but Carrie Fisher, famous parents, was pretty much guaranteed into an acting career. Harrison Ford, been in American Graffiti, was known to George to at least be somebody who could play the role that he wanted him to play. Obviously, they were going on to have a much bigger career as Han Solo and Indiana Jones and various other things. But fantastic actor. Where he found this new lot, I have got no idea. He might have walked onto some campus and gone, who's never heard of Star Wars? And the first three people who put their hands up, you, and you, yeah, you'll do. That's what he seems like. I may be wrong. I might be right. Who knows? Well, George knows. George knows who. Well, not actually. No, George wouldn't know, would he? Whoever was in charge of the hiring would know. I believe I've got a tiny bit of yellow to catch up on, and I'm not happy about that. Got any bit of yellow? Well, a bit of yellow on that one as well, so that's not too bad. Just the tiniest drop because I really don't want to be using much of this. And I've already used too much green as it is, so. Some of this may come back and get a little bit of purple on it, just to vary up from some of these bits. I think some of them end up with purple on them, and some of them end up with all sorts of other little. How does it end up with that bright little pink spot down there? I have no idea. I really haven't. But he's got one. It's there now. Throw a little bit of that into there. And let's try. See this. Let's try being a bit brave. Oh, stupid. There's some little tints of the green going up into the yellow if I can get it. Not fully covering it, but enough to know that it's going up into the same organism and it's kind of blending up in there. if I can get it. And yeah, I think I might have to come back and redo, touch up a couple of these with purple. Missed that bit of green in there, how dare I? And that bit of green there. Just checking over the front of him. Is there anywhere else I'd like to catch with? Yeah, bit on there. Just a bit in there as well. Okay. Wow, that is still a huge difference. That is still a huge difference between them. Now, looking at it, none of them are ready for the dry brush. Not a single one is ready for the dry brush. So, as I said, I will. And I've got a brew left yet. I like being here. I like hopefully somebody comes in and says hello to me, and then I can chat a little bit longer. I do like these things. Ah, oh, that was a nice drink. So, right, couple of plans. Could dry brush feature during the week. Snap on Instagram. Or I could get everything to that level. In fact, I missed that bit. While I'm making this, I've got to remember that little bit that I remembered a minute ago, which was along there and down there. And then switch it now, make sure I've got the other bit. Get a bit there on his leg as well. Missed. So yeah, get them all to this stage, which is the stage before dry brushing. Get them to there. Once they're all there, mass dry brush one single city, just everything if I can. And line it all up. So this camera may actually be getting used as my camera to show my dry brushing. Whereas this camera might actually show my army building and creeping up. Just to give a small example. Because obviously now I could put that there and that there. I've got two of them. That there, I got two of them. That there, I got two of them. That there. That there, got two of them. Obviously, I'd have to item that or put it out somewhere else, and then I can put the rest of the army for display as I'm dry brushing and finishing off. So it's like all the stuff that's finished is over there, and then slowly get through to dry brush, base, put to one side, dry brush, base, put to one side, ding, 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 and work through the rest of them. Also gives me a chance to actually base coat and get these up, as well as, well, I might as well show. This is my current Tyranid box. You see there's lots of finished, well, partially finished and unfinished models in there. So I'm going to say 2 weeks maximum. Hopefully all done next week, but 2 weeks maximum, and I'll have Tyranid ready for a me battle. Hopefully. So thank you all for joining me. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment. Leave a comment if you like me, leave a comment if you dislike me. It's okay, we'll have it either way. But drive safely, have a good night, and see you next week. Hope I'll have fun.